What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. It is a very exciting time again. We've got spoilers for a new set. So, are we late to this party? We might be a little late to this party because the party started with Gen Con, which we were at, and we, obviously weren't doing a ton of content while we were there, but a bunch of cards got spoiled there, and yesterday or 2 days ago. So we're going to talk about those. You guys ready?
Let's do it. So ready.
Born ready.
All right. First impressions of the set in general, like 10 seconds each. Go.
David, go.
More non-humans is cool.
Love it. Jim.
It's a great 10 seconds. I'm excited for token units. It's going to be sick.
Jay.
As we all know, set 2 is already stale. It's ready for set 3, obviously.
That's crazy.
Right?
Ice cold takes in the morning.
New sets become stale within a week and a half for Jay.
I feel like this set's been out for 6 months. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, this is a really cool time period for Star Wars, so getting more lightsabers in the game is always going to be something awesome.
All right, and we already know there's one Ventress, so I can cross my fingers that there's more. All right, first card. We're going to hit the leaders first. So first we got Ahsoka Tano. She is a red hero leader, and she has the ability Coordinate, Action, Exhaust, attack with a unit. It gets +1/+0 for this attack. And Coordinate is a keyword that turns on if you control 3 or more units. And then she
Which
deploys...
includes itself, right?
Includes itself, yes. Well, yeah, not while she's on her leader side, obviously. But when she's on her unit side, it definitely counts. Sure. So she flips on 5, and her ability is Coordinate. This unit gets +2/+0, and she's 3/6. Without that, she will be a 5/6 if you have 3 units.
Okay, 5/6 is pretty good.
Quite big.
I mean, for a 5 flip, but 3/6 for a 5 flip is terrible. So
she does have the Force tag, which is not nothing. This is the reason people played Chirrut for Force Throw, because he's Force unit at 5.
Yeah.
So you've got a Force unit in the color that Force Throw already is at 5.
Yep. 5/6 is pretty aggressive. Like, that's the same amount of stat points shifted one from the health to the strength that like Boba Fett has. But I do think having that one extra health is super relevant for certain aspects of the game. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see. I think the Coordinate keyword in general, I'm not a huge fan of it because it gives your opponent ways to like remove that from you. And it's not always easy to have a bunch of units on the board.
If your opponent knows you're going for a Coordinate strategy, it seems likely that they're going to try and remove units from your board so that you can't turn it on.
Right.
It doesn't help that it's bolded in red too, so you're like, oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, got it. Like
You
big
can be
target
sneaky
side.
about it.
How this leader side? What do we do with this? That's kind of
You attack with it, I'm pretty sure.
that makes sense. Yes. Astute observation.
It's a little too early on the West Coast right now for Mike.
In comparison to any other leaders, like how does the leader side help you?
Well, I
this...
think it, like, if you can turn on Coordinate, it has more attack power than any other 5-flip leader besides IG-88.
The leader, yes. I guess like
I mean,
the unit
sorry,
side, yes.
yeah.
This side
like
though,
a unit. This side,
how is it
I
doing
don't know.
anything?
You try and play wide, and then
you go
deal
IG-88
extra
style.
damage. Yeah, honestly.
Obviously, there's tokens to set, so maybe going wide is something a lot more easily attained.
Yeah.
But it is a free, basically, like there's not a lot of leaders that you can ping a base, and this is a free, possibly pinging a base because it doesn't restrict you to attacking another unit, so you could equate it to like at least 1 damage to base. But that's free. It's also like trading up into stuff if you wanted to, so it's super flexible in that. So like free +1 is not bad, but you also have to have Coordinate.
Wouldn't you have said that about IG-88? Like, that's a free extra.
Yeah,
He's
but I
sleeping
think
on IG-88.
I think his stuff is a lot more restrictive.
Is there a huge difference between having 3 units in play and having more units than your opponent?
I think it is.
Like functionally, like within the first like 3 or 4 turns of the game.
I think it's a lot easier to try and keep 3 units on the board than it is to have more than your opponent.
I do think the IG-88 versus Ahsoka conversation is going to come into play since IG-88's also getting battle droids.
They're both very similar.
And with those being 1/1s, it's probably going to be easier to make battle droids than the 2/2s for heroism, but we'll
But
see.
it's easier to keep the 2/2s around in theory then.
True.
Do we need to show those tokens? Did they show them?
I don't know if we need to show them. One's a 1/1. Battle droids are 1/1s. Clones are 2/2s. The end.
There you go.
Self-explanatory.
Hey, don't forget about their synergies or typings.
Yeah, they're what? Clone, trooper, and then separatist, droid, trooper.
Yeah.
I have to say, the
no,
most
that-
exciting thing about Ahsoka is she's a Force unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And Jedi, because I think that
Yeah.
tag we're gonna see it in another spoiler where Jedi matters. So I think that'll
Yeah.
probably be where she ends up finding a home, not the coordinate. If she gets something, it's gonna be. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I
not,
could be
I'm
wrong.
not
I
a
don't
coordinate
know.
believer. I'm not a believer yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We can talk about the next leader, which is General Grievous. He is a general of the droid armies, and he is a yellow villain leader. He has the action exhaust, give a droid unit sentinel for this phase, and then he flips on 6 as a 4/8, which is pretty large. With on attack, you may give a droid unit +1/+0 and sentinel for this phase.
So, what do y'all think about this guy?
I'm more excited about him than Ahsoka,
Yeah.
honestly. I think he's pretty good.
I mean, the comparison is to Chewbacca, right? Like, Chewbacca gives something Sentinel, but it's 3 costs or less. This is just droids. He also comes out a turn earlier.
Chewbacca almost like action cheats it then, like because he plays it and it becomes a sentinel. This you have to
Yeah,
have
the
a droid.
droid
first.
out.
So if you don't already have one that you have to play, then you have to do it. So it's a little slow. But I could see if battle droid creation is a thing where it's just like, first action, I just tap and turn this 1/1 battle droid into an annoying wall that you have to throw something into
Right.
in order
Sure.
to. This is where Bo-Katan meta is gonna just explode because she's gonna be able to ping all
Kill
those
the
battle
1/1s.
droids for you, Jim.
That's right.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
Boska's gonna
Wreck
like
my
all these
face.
battle droids too.
All of your boss too, actually. That's an actual answer to what I just said.
I think it's cool. I like it for a starter set thing. If there's lots of droids, it'll be very easy to kind of get this online and just annoy your opponent with which arena. I don't know how many droid spaceships we're gonna get, if hardly any.
It's a separatist alliance, so it's very possible that there are droids
Okay.
ships.
Yeah, I mean, in the movies and shows, there's ships that are just droids. They're unmanned ships.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Mike, the most important thing about this is that he's an official. Do you know what that means?
Twin
That
Suns
I can
something.
continue to forget the Royal Guard has Sentinel while he is in play.
The Emperor's Royal Guard will have Sentinel when he is out on the field.
Well, I mean, your droids will already have Sentinel. I mean, that seems like overkill.
Do you even care?
Well, you know.
I like that it's a leader that has pretty good stats when it flips as a 4/8. Like that's pretty big, and he inherently can protect himself and protect your life total by giving your unit Sentinel. I think it's just
Is
like
that
pretty
does
simple.
he just replace Thrawn in a way? Like, would he be better as a like late game control deck than Thrawn?
I could see it.
Maybe.
He's a lot more powerful as a leader, I think, as a 4/8 than a 3/9. 4 is a lot more damage than 3. Feels like.
I think it really depends on the droid creation and if there's like good droids you would just play like in your deck.
Well, we've already got the Dark Trooper, right? Isn't that a droid? I mean, that has Sentinel already, but being able to attack with it for +1 is kind of nice. Like, I think his on attack is also quite good.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, that's fair.
I'm curious. It's funny that I feel like a lot of the yellow villains are control style
Yeah.
leaders, except with the exception of Boba Fett.
Except
But
Boba.
even Boba Fett can be played as a control deck.
It's true.
Boba too good.
Yep.
General
All right.
Grievous.
That's General Grievous. Let's move on to General's Guardian. Here's a droid for you, Jim. It is a 4-cost green villain ground unit. It's a 4/4 separatist and droid, and when this unit is attacked, create a battle droid token.
I mean, that's not bad. You give this dude
The
a
Sentinel.
Sentinel, they got to swing into him. You get a battle droid. I mean, value, baby. Value
That's right.
town.
Yeah.
Turn on that coordinate.
I dig it.
Can we almost always look at this as like a 4-cost 5/5 at the worst?
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
they can kill
I
it in
mean-
other ways, but
Yeah, that's true. But like even like takedown would have killed the 5/5 anyway.
Yeah.
NJ always compares leaders to does it die to takedown? Or Chewbacca. Sorry.
Or open fire.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, open fire does actually wreck this one in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. It's
Paying
not bad.
for 4/4 stats is not the most exciting thing in the world, but maybe specifically with General Grievous when you can give this Sentinel
Being
the
able to
turn
get,
entrance
being
play.
able to give it Sentinel for sure.
This
It's
is a
pretty
good
sweet.
starter deck card. I feel like to help someone learn. I don't know. I don't
Stuff.
know. The token stuff is so new. That's where I struggle to evaluate some of this. But
Sure.
yeah,
Cool. All right. Well, super simple card. Let's move on to the next one. We've got Captain Rex.
let's go.
He is a 6-cost green hero ground unit. He's a 4/4 Republic clone trooper, and when played, create 2 clone trooper tokens.
So that previous guard was a 4-cost 5/5. Then this is a 6-cost 8/8.
It's a lot of stats.
That
Wow,
stuff.
stats.
And you get 2 units, and it's when played, so you immediately have access. You don't have to wait for them to attack you, and maybe just open fire your dude, and you don't get it at all.
And he
This
turns on coordinate immediately.
Yeah, yeah. That's
immediately.
yeah.
I think he's pretty sweet.
Same.
The only thing I feel like Rex was so survivable in everything he ever did. I feel like he should have more than 4 health, but that'd probably be busted mechanically because he's bringing in the other clones. That's my only but
Well,
Sure.
I was gonna say, as the lore guy, David, you just need to tell your opponent, like, no, he's actually very resilient. You're not allowed to attack him yet, and it should be fine.
there we go. All right. Yeah. No, I like this guy. I'm also sad he's in the starter deck because I can't get a hyperfoil of Captain Rex.
Yeah. Just
at least for now.
hyperspaces.
Yeah.
I say
Art
it'll
looks
probably be in the
awesome, though.
OP packs.
Yeah, as a hyperspace, but no hyperfoil. No
Well,
shinies.
if it's a rare in the IP pack or the OP packs, then
That's not
it
how
can
it
be
works.
foil.
That's just that comes as commons in OP packs.
Maybe they switched it up just for you.
I like Captain Rex. It's great.
I mean,
I
when
think it's a
plays
really good
are
card.
always really nice, right?
Yeah. Well, it's spreading your power across 3 different units that your opponent has to deal with. Like, this type of card has existed many times in card games, and it is always useful.
If we get any new, like a new adventure style cards for green, where you can just like bounce it, play it again, create 2
Yep.
more, like that kind
That's
of stuff.
fun. Yeah, that's cool.
It's good. So the
Can,
thought I
can
had,
somebody interrupt David again?
Jim, don't even do it.
I'm so tempted.
One of the more frustrating cards to play against is Power of the Dark Side, and stuff like this feels so good
Yeah.
against stuff like that. When normally like you drop your 6-cost thing, and if you walk right into Power of the Dark Side, it's like, oh gosh. But
Yeah.
to be able to get these units out and have a little bit of protection against stuff like Power of the Dark Side is really
There's another one that we're going to look at that's like that. That's one of my favorite cards on this list. So I'm excited to talk about that when we get to
Yeah.
it. But let's move on to Coruscant Guard. It's a 2-cost green ground unit. It's a 3/2 Republic clone trooper with coordinate ambush. So while you have 3 or more units, it gains ambush.
I'm not huge on this card. Like, we already have Cloud Rider, that's a 1-cost 3/1 that fits this role, and this one is like
it's 2 costs.
It's still
2
two
costs. I
Yeah.
know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is just strictly worse because it's conditional ambush
Sure.
and cost 1 more.
It does not cost 1 more.
They both cost 2.
Yeah.
Or, sorry.
It's
It only has 1 more HP. That's
Right.
it.
there it is. We got there.
Like, I don't know. This is not a super exciting card to me.
Yeah, if it's like a 2, like spend 2 to like deal 3 damage, it's like fine, but ambush is not the same as deal 3 damage. So yeah, very situational. I don't love it.
My only thought was like all these like green Sabine decks, like there's gonna be a reality in which they could have their entire 2-cost, like just play all 2 costs that have 3 power at some point. That's just like, okay, remove this stuff from do this. If there's any buffs for clones, like maybe this is where like the tags make it better than like a Cloud Rider, because the Republic clone stuff.
can
You
buff
could
it with,
in villain, you could do
General
General Tag, Soggy Toggy, hitting it with some experience. So I don't know.
The only
probably
thing
not
I'll
good.
say about this is, like, looking at it as just a 2-cost 3/2, it's not like the worst thing in the world if you want this stat line and you want the traits in your deck. And then I feel like you kind of just look at the coordinate as like maybe I can draw this late game and it like gains ambush like later in the game and it's useful. But I agree. I'm not like the most excited about this card.
I don't know. 3/2s in general for me are just like I just don't like playing them. They almost always die so quickly to, boss ping, boss ping dead or something like that. You know what I mean?
Super
And it's like you
laser
just
ambush.
all kinds of gimmicks.
It has definitely fallen out of favor in set 2. Okay, let's move on to General's Blade. This is a 3-cost green upgrade attached to non-vehicle unit. If the attached unit is a Jedi, it gains on attack. The next unit you play this phase costs 2 less, and it gives the unit +3/+3.
So for starters, he's got Rey's lightsaber.
Yeah, what's
Second
that
off.
guy's name, Jay? Do you remember?
Exactly. What general is this? I want an actual general on this.
I
on this
guarantee
card.
you that this is an actual general that has
I know
a name.
one that we actually care about is what I meant to say. No, this card seems busted to me. This card seems so good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play with this card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to be so careful with what do they put the Jedi tag on. Obviously for Jedis, but like when they're designing cards, 2 less for a unit is pretty nasty.
Yep.
So is Sabine a Jedi now? Because you throw this on Sabine, 1 less than Darksaber,
She's not.
Maybe they have a Padawan upgrade like the Mandalorian
There you go.
upgrade or Foundling upgrade
Turn
where
it
you
into
can
a
give
Jedi.
it
Yeah.
make it a Jedi.
Because I'm like,
Does this
man,
work
if
with
I can
the-
somehow make Chirrut a Jedi and throw this on him, oh man, we're gonna
Yeah.
be cooking.
You
Does this
could
work
do this
with
in
New Han?
Han. Yeah, it does. If you have a
Wow.
Jedi already out, like if you have Yoda out and then you flip Han and you put this on Yoda and you attack while Han is flipped, you can decrease whatever
Fortunately,
the
that's
next card
3
is you play by
colors.
3.
So that'd be
Oh,
a red,
yeah, that
blue,
is 3
green
colors.
combo there.
Okay, if they,
thank goodness.
assume there's a red or a green Jedi that's cheap
Totally, yeah.
that you put this on, you can do some really crazy discounting, and you can combine it with Alliance Dispatcher too. So you could like attack with something and then Dispatcher, and then you're like -4. It's like 4 cheaper.
Yep.
That's kind of
I'm excited for my Green
The-
Luke Jedi deck that's about to come out. Watch out
The
for the deck
combo
tech
I
people.
did, or I mentioned in the Discord, was that you like flip Ahsoka, give her the General's Blade, swing and kill something, play Bravado for 2, and then attack something again. Now you get to play something for 4 less.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good with stuff that readies. That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, even throwing this on Ahsoka, it's gonna be even if we're just talking starter deck.
Yeah,
stuff,
it's just normal.
It's gonna feel great.
Put it on
Without doing the broken stuff, it's still good.
Yeah.
Put it on Mace Windu, and you like kill
Ooh,
3
that's cool.
things, and then now you can play something for 6 less.
That's the dream right there. You
Honestly,
need a
though-
lot of resources.
A 3-cost upgrade for +3/+3 is like already
Just
being used a
generally
lot.
good, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No pun intended. And
it was intended.
generally good.
Oh god. All right, next card. We got Jesse. Jesse is a 3-cost red hero ground unit. He's a 4/4 with a Republic clone trooper and raid 1. And when played, an opponent creates 2 battle droids.
This is such an interesting design to me
I love this card.
because those stats are insane.
Yeah,
But I'm so hesitant going into a meta where people are playing exploit cards that you give them 2 droids. Like that just seems so bad.
Could be very risky.
but this in like an aggro deck anyway. That's just like putting this
That's
out.
so many
swinging
stats.
in. Disgusting.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Like turn 2, you put 5 power on the board with 4 health. That's a lot. I mean, you're giving your opponent 2 units.
You know, if you play
Actually,
this,
do.
if you play this with New Han, you could just play turn 1, just go ham.
That's pretty.
Look.
Well, then I guess it's a
4/2 with
5/2 at that
raid,
point.
yeah.
like a 4/2 raid
Yep,
one.
so the battle
it's
droids
a lot,
can just
it's
kill
really
it.
easy to kill. Yeah.
Right. But like this in like a Sabine sideboard, like you can just ECL this into their Sabine and that mirror matchup. I mean, it's getting gross.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's pretty good. I like the prospect of turning those battle droids into a benefit for you. So, like, you drop this and then you like ECL Wrecker into one of
Oh
their battle.
gosh, yeah, that's it. That's the play.
Yeah.
And he's a
something like
clone,
that.
so if they have more clone stuff coming,
About
Yeah.
time Sabine's good. Come
Yeah.
on. Last set they finally made
the
Boba
buff we
playable.
needed.
Boba's finally playable. Now Sabine's gonna be playable. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
So stuff like that it sounds pretty fun. I mean, it's also just like a lot of stats for a Ewing reinforcement, like bringing in a 4/4 for 3, and then like I don't know if there are any cheap units that you can bring in that deal 1 damage to your opponent's units when they enter play. Like you can just clear the battle droids afterwards. I don't know if that already exists or not. Like you could do it with Akbar a little bit.
We need like a Cosmo from Snap where you can
Oh my
like
gosh.
Prevent
get
when
rid
plays.
of
Stop
when
this lane.
plays.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'm-
pretty interesting.
that is.
I'm
I
sad
like
that the win played on this is
Pretty cool.
your opponent creates the 2 battle droids, not you create 2 battle droids for your opponent for a Maz Kanata crazy synergy, but it's okay.
Wait,
I'll
that wouldn't work anyway, though, right? Because you have to play the cards for Maz to get the buffs.
Probably so.
Yeah, not create. Yeah.
Otherwise, she'd be sick with Rex, where you could like get 3 units and buff her 3 times. But I don't
Speak-
think
Oh, she's already sick with Rex. Don't you worry.
is she? I don't think so.
No, not crazy, but it's just a unit.
Before we move on, I had an idea that now that we're getting token cards that are just going to come into play from outside, you don't put them in your deck. We need to have like battle droid tokens with our faces on the cards.
Oh, yeah.
So I can bring in Jay the battle droid when I, and I can be
That
like,
just
all right,
is the
Jay,
first one I'm attacking every time.
Jay, run into that sentinel. Like, it would bring me so much joy to have.
I'm
some
just gonna
Photoshop
make
battle droid
a
tokens.
Mr. Bones battle droid token, and all of my
there we go.
droids are gonna be
Nice.
Mr. Bones.
I hope that they have like multiple pieces of art for battle droids because that would be pretty cool.
You could do so much
And
stuff
clones.
with this. Yeah.
All right, next card. We're moving on to Anakin Skywalker.
Hey.
He is a 5-cost red hero ground unit. He's a 6/6 Force Jedi Republic with coordinate on attack. Draw a card.
Poor man's
Yeah.
Poe.
Very poor man. I'm not an Anakin believer.
I mean, 5 cost 6/6 is not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad,
With the
but you
Force
already,
Jedi-
you already have a 5-cost 6/6 that's better.
Okay,
But this
but
why
is Force
not?
Jedi.
How many
Hold on.
5-cost 6/6 are you putting in your deck?
hold
Why not
on,
both?
hold on. Listen, in Sad Han, I'm dropping
Yep.
Poe at 4 resources on the on the Han flip turn, and then you've got Force throw for 5, and you've got your Force unit ready to go,
Okay.
all in the same aspect.
I could see how that would be useful.
Yeah, I was gonna say this dude's got force.
Force and
Poe
Jedi.
does not
Yeah.
have force.
I think that those are the reasons why you would play this. I think the coordinate on attack is a pipe dream.
Happy accident if it ever
It's-
happens.
I feel like it probably should, but
It feels like
Yeah.
super win more. Like you already have 3 units on the board, and one of them's a 5-cost 6/6. You really need to draw a card.
like, because if I play this on 5, bring out Han, next turn I just play a unit and then attack with this. Like, that seems reasonable to have 3 units out without
Sounds
it being
like you're winning that
crazy
game.
over the top.
I mean, there will
Probably.
definitely be a time where you can play like maybe even this set you can play just force unit after force unit to guarantee that you can use stuff like force throw
Yeah.
or anything else that they come out with. That's like if you have a force unit.
Your opponent
I-
plays Jesse, then you ECL this in, kill something, and draw a card. It's great.
That's right.
Easy.
It sounds so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, harsh to say that I'm not an Anakin believer, but I think like if he's good, it's because he is Force Jedi, not because of anything
Sure.
else.
Yep.
Okay, next card. Separatist Commando. It is a 2-cost yellow villain ground unit, 2/3 Separatist droid trooper. And while you control another Separatist unit, this unit gains raid 2. What do you guys think?
I don't mind this card. I think it's fine.
I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 costs 2/3. I'd rather have 2/3s right now than 3/2s most of the time. So this is just like
A 2/3 that can
it
attack
just-
for 4.
that could possibly be doing 4. It feels like it goes in aggro deck probably, but could also trade up if you're playing.
It does
control.
compete with the Crafty Smuggler spot. That seems to be a really like standard addition to most yellow villain decks, just because you get the free.
4K no los dos.
But it's also Underworld, so if you're not playing an Underworld
Yeah.
deck and you're playing a Separatist or Droid deck, this or even Trooper deck, this probably fits better than Crafty.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a fan
Buff
of
this
it.
with tag.
There it is.
Exactly.
All these cards.
The
are
Rise
just
of
being buffed
Tag.
with yeah, the rise of tag.
That
All the
should have been
battle
the name
droid
of this
tokens
set.
are troopers. So
I like this card. I don't think it's bad.
I like it too. Any other thoughts? No.
Yeah, nothing
All right.
crazy.
Cool.
It's good.
Next card is Prisoner of War. It is a 4-cost yellow event. A friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader unit and non-vehicle unit it's non-leader / non-vehicle unit. If the enemy unit costs less than the friendly unit, create 2 battle droid tokens. So
Okay.
remove one of your opponent's units temporarily and make 2 battle droids for 4.
That's a
don't know
lot
how-
of conditions on there for 2 battle droids, in my opinion.
Well, it's only
if
one
you
condition,
do-
right? It's like they just have to cost less.
Right.
Well, cost less, but the non-leader, non-vehicle means that you can't really go steal something from their space arena for the most part.
But you could go from ground to space.
Correct.
And
I think that if you do get to create the 2 battle droids, then this is probably pretty good in a deck that's wanting to create a bunch of battle droids and exploit them.
Yeah.
But I don't see it being played outside of an exploit deck.
But in yellow, Relentless Pursuit, can you remind me, does it have to be, is that the one where it has to be less cost? Or less power?
I think it's less or equal cost.
Because I'm like, this is technically,
But
it
this
does
doesn't
have
have
conditions.
to be less or equal cost.
Right, so I'm just thinking like, okay, you could essentially, they drop a Luke and you can't do anything about it. You know, you could capture a Luke onto your space unit and not get the battle droids and still be like, okay, because in yellow the removal is a little bit more conditional. So I think we haven't even talked about limited format, but I think this would be pretty baller in limited format.
Definitely agree there.
Yeah, I think it's fine. If you're playing an exploit deck, this is a good way to create more battle droids. If you're not, I don't see a reason to play this over Relentless Pursuit. Maybe you're not playing
Yeah, if you're not
bounty
playing
hunters,
bounty hunters.
but even then it's three costs versus 4. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. 4 feels like a lot to temporarily remove a unit from the board.
Yeah, that's a high
But
price.
if you're getting 2 battle droids out of it as well, maybe it's worth it. Like
Yes.
what's the cost of 2 battle droids? I guess is the real question. So
Probably 2.
if it's 2, then you're really paying 2 for it. Like if you already wanted the battle droids in the first place,
Or like 1.5.
then it seems pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially with exploit, I could see that.
Yeah, you can drop Ventress for free after you do this. All right. Next card is Battle Droid Escort, 3-cost villain ground unit. It's a 1/1 Separatist droid trooper, and when played and when defeated, create a battle droid token.
So according to this card, it's 1 cost per battle droid.
Yeah, so that'd be worth 2 then, if that is the case.
But I don't know. Like, this is just villain, so it's gonna be statted a little less
Sure.
than if it was like green villain. I think it's fine. I mean, it is drop 2 units.
I love this card.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good actually.
Like, yeah, I think it
Like
theme here. It goes in an exploit deck for sure.
Yeah, well, David was talking earlier about the Power of the Dark Side thing. Like, this is, to me,
Yeah.
the card that just, like, says, I don't care to your opponent
Yeah.
playing Power of the Dark Side.
Yeah. It does feel like
Definitely.
flood the board strategies are definitely going to be more viable. And I know everyone's going to be like, bombing runs back in, but it's like, you can't really just tech in bombing run, assuming like this, unless this absolutely takes over the meta. It's
I
hard
mean,
to
it
think
definitely
about it.
fits into the go wide strategies that aren't exploit too. So if you're playing IG-88, then this is like you're guaranteed to have 2 dudes on the board.
He is
And
a,
if
he is
they
a
kill
droid.
this-
That's true.
He is a droid.
We need some droid synergy
know.
cards.
Could be playing one of those decks, and this is really good for that.
I'm just going to keep going back to playing Ventress because that's all I want to do in this set. But you play this on turn 2, you exploit your 2 droids, you get Ventress for free, and you have another droid left over.
Easy.
That's pretty sweet.
Easy.
Game's too easy.
I don't know if it's good, but I don't care. Cool. All right. We got 2 cards left. So first one is the Hailfire Tank. This is quite large. This is an 8-cost villain ground unit, and it's a 7/6 Separatist droid vehicle tank for that sweet, sweet tank synergy. And it has exploit too.
You can't capture though with the vehicle tag, so
That's
that
correct.
makes it great.
Yeah.
Yep, you can't capture this.
Hey, make this the Sentinel for
There are
Grievous.
some.
Yeah,
There are some
that's
you
a-
can capture.
That's a big
But
set.
yeah. This also, so you play the Battle Droid Escort on 3, and then you play this on 4 and exploit those 2 things.
Yeah.
I mean, now you have a 7/6 on the 4 resource turn.
It's going to be tough to deal with.
And Grievous turns him
And-
into the Sentinel with 1 power or whatever. Oh, I guess
And
not.
you have
on
1
this,
battle
you're saying.
droid because
Yeah.
the
Yeah, 'cause the one
Escort created
defeated.
another one.
and you played Piet turn 1, so this ambushes too.
Ooh.
I mean,
It writes
it writes
Land
itself,
or
guys. It writes
our new
itself.
reality?
I mean, there's no chance. Like, most people don't kill Piet early because you don't have to worry about it till you're playing 6-cost stuff. So it's like the chances of them Piet still being on the board when you play this on 4 is highly likely.
I think exploit is going to
Change the game.
It's gonna really
It
mess
seems
with some
insane.
strategy because when I'm looking across the board at 2 battle droids and I've got this big unit, it's like I don't want to waste damage, but I'm like, if I don't kill one of those battle droids right now with this big attack, this could really come back to wreck me. So doing that mind game of what's in their hand, what could they exploit, and do I kill the battle droids? Do I leave them there? That's gonna be interesting.
An interesting thing they mentioned in the stream is Tyler said only cards that have the Separatist keyword are going to have exploit, and only cards that have the Republic keyword are going to have coordinate. So obviously, most of the Separatist stuff is going to be villain. So villains got exploit, heroes got coordinate. One of those two is better than the other, is all I'm going to say.
What's the most broken thing in this game? Reducing the cost of things. What does exploit do? Reduce the cost of things by a lot. Like, I think, exploit, I think, is like infinitely better than coordinate. So if you're a Separatist enjoyer, sets for you. Okay, last card we have to talk about is the 332nd Stalwart. It is a 1-cost hero ground unit. It's a 1/2 Republic clone trooper with coordinate. This unit gets +1/+1.
Best card in the set.
It's not bad, but there's no like IG-88s for heroes right now. So I mean, Ahsoka kind of, but not really. Like, I wouldn't consider it as strong as this. Would be really good in an IG-88 deck.
I feel like this is just like a go super wide cheap stuff. Like, you play this, you play the 1-cost 2/3 ship, you play all the 1. I mean, you could do this with Han, like either Han probably in some way, where you play 3 1-cost units on turn 1 and you turn on coordinate that way.
Does coordinate have does it come into the field with the boost? So like if you played this with Han and you had two other units out, would it die before the coordinate happens or after?
I don't think it would die, but I'm not a rules guy.
I would assume
Well,
it has it inherently.
I tend to agree, but somebody in the comments will tell us whether we're right or wrong, or nobody knows yet.
Yeah.
So
anytime I see 1-cost units now, I also think about Rey leader to see if there's some kind of stuff you can do with it.
That's pretty interesting.
Because you could start this as a 2/3, turn 1, and then
2 or 3, 4.
Play a couple more units. Yeah,
all of a sudden
that's pretty cool.
it turns into something. But
I mean, you can turn
it's hard
it
for me to think this
4
does
before
enough,
it gains
but-
coordinate, but yeah, it is just stats. So I think you probably don't want to invest too much into something like this.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's all the cards that we have for today. So as we get more cards from this new set, we will continue to do this. Anything else?
It
before we
didn't
get out of
take
here?
us an hour to do this one.
It did not.
I can't believe that.
We got through this pretty quick. It was a lot of very simple cards, so that worked in our favor.
starter decks.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.